everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in for this little kind of casual, chatty vlog about my pregnancy so far. I am currently at 20 weeks, the last day of week 20, and this video will go up on Monday when I am 21 weeks. But I wanted to wait until now to shoot this video because I had my 20-week appointment and ultrasound late in the week last week on Friday, so I wanted to go through that and be able to share some stuff with you from that. But yeah, in case you're new to my channel or you haven't caught up on some past videos yet, I am pregnant with a baby boy, and we currently have two girls who are 4 and 2, so this is gonna really stir things up in our life. We talked a lot about this in the gender reveal video about how we really just, it was hard for a while to wrap our heads around this because all we know is this little girl life. But I mean, I am so incredibly excited and interested and just like super duper curious about what this little man's gonna be like and just the dynamic that he brings to our life. There were so many comments on that video that make me like so enthused. Everybody's sharing their experiences with little boys or just what your own family dynamic is like at home. I just love hearing all that. Like, I am so looking forward to this. At least like a few times a week, my mom and I are like, I just want to hold this little baby. Like, we are so eager. I feel even more impatient now for some reason than I have the last couple of pregnancies, and I don't want to wish away time because being pregnant and going through your body going through all these changes and the baby growing and developing, I mean, you don't want to wish away that time because it's so precious. And I don't know that I'll be in this position again, and I really want to cherish it all, but I really want to hold that baby. And every time I see like a little baby on Instagram or Twitter or something, like it about makes me want to cry. And that may be my biggest pregnancy symptom right now. Like, as I just sit here, I feel like I'm gonna cry, and I'm not even really like, what? But I'm super emotional. I feel like I'm more emotional this pregnancy than before. And even there was one night that like Bub and I were sitting on the couch and I just started crying, and I was like, I don't even know what I'm crying about. And then I started kind of like searching for things like, why am I emotional right now? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think the emotional surge is pretty inevitable for people. It may affect some people a little harder than others, or like me in some pregnancies more than others. But yeah, that's probably like my biggest thing right now. I thought this vlog might not amount to much because I don't feel like at this point in time I am really experiencing too many symptoms. I am right in the second trimester. I am halfway through. Baby is due on October 28th. I don't know if I said that. I'm not experiencing food aversions or any queasiness. My body doesn't feel particularly uncomfortable. I definitely have a bump, but it's not huge. And I feel like fatigue-wise, there will be some days where I honestly feel like, gosh, it's noon and I could fall asleep, but it's not as bad as it was in the first trimester. And I felt like almost as soon as the second trimester hit, I felt more energy like at nighttime. I could stay up a lot later with no problem. Now I'm feeling a little more tired, like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Part of this is like I wake up at 5 every morning, so this is kind of like normal human being problems here. But generally speaking, I feel more energy right at this point in the pregnancy than I did earlier on. As far as weight gain goes, I've gained, I think, between 10 and 12 pounds right now, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not one who like gets on the scale every single day, but I just kind of know like by the way stuff is fitting, stuff that I wore the past pregnancies and the point in which I was wearing them, it just kind of all seems pretty natural and pretty normal. And what's great about keeping notes week by week during the first trimester is like once second trimester hit, I don't know, a lot of specific symptoms seem to kind of go away, but I did have a note here about acid reflux and starting to feel a little bit of that, sometimes dependent on what I've eaten, if I've eaten something really spicy or maybe something kind of greasy, but that is something like I definitely experienced it in both of the other pregnancies as well, but never in my life had I had that outside of pregnancy. It's crazy. So sometimes I notice that it's just been a handful of times so far, but there's that old wives' tale that says like if you experience that, your baby's gonna come out with a lot of hair. Both of my other babies had a decent amount of hair, so that's interesting. As far as things that I'm craving, I'm really wanting cold stuff, popsicles. I know summertime probably is bringing some of that on, but but tart, sweet things all throughout this pregnancy have really appealed to me. Like the other day I was at Target and I was like, I'm getting one of these big boxes of the ice pops, you know, and just, what do you call those things, by the way? There's this whole thing going around like, what are the popsicles in the little plastic packaging called? I call them ice pops. But gosh, do you remember summers where you just run around outside like 90% of the time and the other percent of the time you were eating an ice pop? Like that was my life for a while. Now I'm kind of reliving that again, only they're the ones running around and I'm still eating the ice pops. Sushi also, and I know like raw fish sushi is not okay, but there are kinds of sushi that do not involve raw fish that you can have, and there's a local restaurant that makes some fabulous sushi, so Bub will sometimes bring that home to me. And that has fulfilled, like, I don't know, just this craving. I want flavor, 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 you know, I don't mind spicy. Still like my Thai food, like pad Thai or pineapple fried rice. Mexican food is never not appealing, so I don't know that that even gets to count as a craving. For a while, I really was taking to wheat thins. I just feel like, I don't know what it is, like my mouth needs a real experience, you know, I either need a good crunch or I need a lot of flavor. Oh, so this past weekend, we had been on a trip to Chicago for a legal conference that Bub goes to every year, and these past couple of years I've gone to because it's kind of, there are some events that are open to me to go to, and I knew I needed to dress up, and I thought, well, I've probably got some like stretchy wardrobe pieces that will accommodate the bump already, but I felt like looking around on Amazon to see if they had any cute like stretchy maternity dresses, and there's so much to choose from, and I got some really great things. I got 3 dresses that were all very affordable, and you know, if you're buying a style of dress that is strictly maternity, like I really don't want to spend a lot on that. I got a really cute like dark green one, and in all of these situations there were quite a few print and color options too, but it was a nice little short sleeve dress, and all of these had some ruching kind of around the waist area, and it just had a really cute little cut, and I wore it with a little jeans jacket because actually the days we were up in Chicago, it was cool. One night we were waiting for an Uber and I was like literally shivering, so I was glad I had that little jean jacket. But I loved that dress, and something I also loved about all of these dresses I'll be mentioning is the thickness of fabric. That green one's probably the thinnest, but still not a problem. You know, I don't like those paper thin, like super sheer outfits. You know, I want everything to be kind of like smooth and nice. And then for the night of the actual like formal event, I had this printed dress, and this was a little bit thicker, a little more formal feeling fabric, but still had some stretch to it. So that was kind of an interesting balance to strike there, but it had the 3/4 sleeve and a floral print all over. I'm not always nuts about the huge floral print, but something about the color scheme, I kind of liked it here, and I got so many compliments on that dress actually, and it was just very comfortable. It fit the bump well. I mean, it didn't seem skin tight, but it was form fitting, and I feel like that's what I go for given my height. I'm 5 feet tall, so if I just kind of put things on and let them hang, I feel like I'm floating around in a ton of fabric, and I just feel a little more confident when I've got a really good fit. So there's that, and then I got one that is a sleeveless dress, and I think I wore my little jacket with this too. I wore this out to lunch with Mary Ellen. Adorable color here, kind of a light peachy coral nude, and one side of it was ruched, and it had like a nice sort of lining in it, even though it looked from the outside like a really casual dress, like almost a gray t-shirt sort of heather texture on it, and I love the way that one fit too. Also, I got this undergarment thing. I think I only wore it with that floral print dress, but I wouldn't call them Spanx because, you know, there's nothing really compression oriented about them, but it was just like a nice smoothing kind of like short. It comes down like about mid-thigh, and I just felt like everything was so nice and smooth over the bump. Like it didn't feel tight. It didn't feel uncomfortable in that way whatsoever. It came up nice and high, and I felt like just really nice and secure. You feel like you want a little extra support or smoothness under something, and you are in maternity mode, you might check that out too. I'll link to everything below. But my bump, I mean, it's crazy how baby bumps are. Like, it's so hard, you know, like you touch up here right around your rib cage area, like just under your bra, and like that is out, and it is very, very hard. And you think like, where is the baby? The baby seems down so low, but yet you're bumping out already up there. It's kind of strange. Also, I found a great pair of shorts. I meant to mention that, jean shorts from Walmart in the maternity section. I noticed Walmart now, at least my store, has a little section of maternity stuff. They've got some long, like, maxi dresses. They have some shirts, which I will say about the shirts, they are very, very thin. Some of they're just like V-neck, you know, ruched at the sides maternity shirts. But the jean shorts were really nice. Not too long, not too short. I really liked the way the band came up and just, yeah, super happy with those. They were really comfortable. So yeah, I'm excited to have the bump. It's definitely at the point where people will comment on it like I am visibly pregnant. I'm gonna be going to Destin soon and the bump will be out. I guess I'll wrap things up with a little about my 20-week appointment. So it's the anatomy ultrasound where they really look very closely at the size, different organs, like are there 4 chambers to the heart, all the nitty-gritty stuff. And so I went in there and I actually brought Mom with me because she's never gotten to see an ultrasound happen. And like in her days, she'll always be quick to tell you like she never had any of that kind of technology. So she and the girls came too and we got that done. And I'm always kind of nervous before going in for those because I don't know, you feel okay on the outside, but at the same time, you're not really sure everything that's going on inside. Oh, I'm feeling kicks. I meant to say that. I started feeling movement, I don't know, 18, 19 weeks. I definitely felt little moves. I talked about like really early in pregnancy, I thought I was feeling something, which I may have, but for sure now I am feeling that baby move around. And it's not always at the point where it's nonstop during the day all the time, but like every day I'm feeling some movements and that's really cool. But anyway, Mom and the girls were there and we went through that whole scan and it was so relieving to get to see just this little human forming there and having everything they're supposed to have. And she says size-wise the baby is right on track. And I just walked out of there like so, feeling so good, you know, like so relieved. And then I saw my doctor and it was a really like brief check-in with him because we had heard the heartbeat. The heart rate was at 143 during the ultrasound and so he didn't really need to check it on the Doppler again. Basically he and my mom talked, he gave the girls some suckers and I just kind of sat there. I was like, eh. It was a very low-key appointment because the main part of it was to get that ultrasound done. So I just feel so grateful and so lucky to be having this baby boy. Like I said earlier, every time I see pictures of people with their little babies, it melts my heart to a new level. It was funny at the legal conference, Mark, who Bub works with, there was some kind of cocktail hour going on. He's like, well, of course you can't drink. And I'm like, no, but my hormones will keep it interesting. I could just cry real easy about most anything. So that's where we're at with this pregnancy. I think I shared about everything I could think of, but if you have more questions, just let me know in the comments section. Also, I have been buying some things in anticipation of baby boy. I'm also looking around at like everything in the house and I'm like, oh, he'd like to play with that. He'd like that. I'm realizing even though we have a lot of like girl-oriented toys, there are many things that I think a little boy would just love. And we're pretty well stocked just like baby equipment wise too with what we would need. But there are certain things, I've never had a baby bath that I've loved using and so I got a new one of those that looks really cool. I've been picking up little clothes along the way and just all kinds of things. And I think that might be a fun future Monday video here soon to just show all of that and share. So yeah, thank you so much for your time, everyone. Thank you for your prayers and thoughts on all this. I really, really appreciate it and I hope you're all having a great day. I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye.
Look at that, chocolates. Oh my gosh.
What are those? Chocolate covered
Oreos.
Ooh, those are gonna be so good.
I got one for you.
This is from you? Starburst gummies, those look incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite types of Skittles. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Betty.
For you.
Come on, thank you, Betty. Don't run off with my candy now.
Mommy, I got treats.
Two can play at the Willow
I was
Tree
gonna
game.
say, this is my standard move. Oh my gosh. I love it. It's me and my girls. Oh, thank you, everybody. So sweet and cute. That's you. And that's Nookie.
And that's you.
Yeah. And it's called My Girls. Love it. Thank you.
love you, bub. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
You're the bestest.
You're the best.